Hi everyone, this is Sabin for the Conclave, and I'll be facilitating our conversation today about the trailer and gameplay reveal on Dragon Age: The Vanguard.
You said the Vanguard, not Veilguard.
Shit, I need to redo the beginning. So we are covering the trailer and gameplay reveal for Dragon Age: The Veilguard, game that's going to come out this fall 2024. And I know it's more than a hot minute since we had our last discussion. More like hot hours. So let's go ahead and do a little quick introduction, starting with Happy. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Happy Thoughts. I've been playing Dragon Age since it came out. I've been playing BioWare since 1996. I played Baldur's Gate 1 when my dad bought it. I follow a lot of BioWare news, but I'm not a content creator other than joining in these lovely discussions.
Thank you so much. And next is Cananum.
Hi. I haven't been into Dragon Age or BioWare games for quite as long as Happy, but I still enjoy it nonetheless. I'm a 3D artist. I focus on characters and props mostly, so it's fun to look at the games from that angle, and also happy to be here.
Thank you again. Chris.
I'm Chris. I mostly write fan fiction. I do a bit of art in BioWare. I too have been gaming for a very, very long time, but I did not pick up Dragon Age until 2016. I got into it. I devoured it. I have played through over 10 times, all Origins, with mods. And then I had a girlfriend insist that if I liked Dragon Age, I would love Mass Effect, and I had to play that. And then I transferred my addiction to Mass Effect, wrote a 1,000,000-word fan fiction series, and am hoping that I still feel capable of writing fan fiction when Veilguard comes out, because some of the characters look really interesting. And I'm also happy to be here and talk lore, because the story is what matters for me.
Thank you. And Filmation will be joining us soon. Let's talk about aesthetics. That's the first thing we see. Looking back on the trailers and concept art from the last 3 years to what was shown to us in the recent trailer and during the gameplay reveal, I want to kind of take it apart little by little, and you guys can all chime in to tell me what you think. So let's start with environment. Let's start with Minrathous.
Yeah, that looks pretty similar.
I'm very excited for the circle.
Yeah.
Me too.
Let me get on that circle.
I like that they kept the dark fantasy elements. Obviously, the veil's coming down. It's going to be spooky, tight feeling, dark, smoky, things falling from the sky. But it really seemed to tag end well with the purple palette and the way that they were portraying Minrathous the entire time. I really appreciated that part of the aesthetic. If you're going to introduce us to Minrathous in the beginning of Armageddon, they did a really good color selection, and it's dark without being too dark. I really liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing in games is even if it is really dark, the players still need to be able to see important things, see where they need to go. I mean, you can create beautiful assets for a game, but if no one can see them, what's the point of that really?
Yeah, and I mean, you would know. The lighting is huge. I mean, I think they did a really good job. That was one part of the trailer I was impressed with.
Let's talk about Arlethon Forest. This was the concept art from a few years past, and we see just a bit of it in the shots with Bolera. BioWare also released screenshots of the in-game environments, quite a few from what seems to be Arlethon Forest. I think the ruins are reminiscent of the ones we visited in Dragon Age Inquisition, which is totally fine with me. I love it. Look at the beauty of it.
Oh yeah, I want those big hands to hug me.
You'll freak out when it moves.
I'm excited to explore more ruins.
Oh yeah, me too.
I love that they bring back models. And we saw these around Hosamo Graves, or where the Dalish camp was in Exalted Plains, I think.
One of the hearts. You can get them as a mount in Inquisition.
We're definitely seeing something really happen there that broke the structures in that area, just like how the Shattered Library was.
There's a chance that Arlathan actually fell, and I'm getting it on tape right now that I think that sea next to the Arlathan forest may be where we have to go in the water, because it just looks like an impact crater to me. It has for years. So I would be very excited if we have a mix of ruins that are land-based and sea-based. You notice they didn't show us any sea environments, which I think is, if we're going to get them, that could be the most impressive part of the art style. I'm kind of psyched for it.
Yeah, let's not forget Ravine.
I would love to go underwater so much.
Yeah.
I think
Come.
all of you are forgetting the sea monsters. I don't want to go
That's
underwater
true.
at all.
Well, okay,
That's true.
the sea monster is a negative, possibly.
Yeah.
But come on, I mean, happy, friendly sea creatures that lead us to fantastical ruins.
Friendly sea monsters.
Yeah. We didn't get to see a lot more of Navarra, but we did get a couple of new concept art for the necropolis, and they look amazing. I'm excited to travel through it.
I'm so excited to visit the Grand Necropolis.
Me too. I think I'm most excited for that and Arlathan Forest.
Unfortunately, we didn't see any recent review on Dwarven Tigers or more of Weishaupt, so I'm hoping that BioWare has stuck to most of what was developed to have them in-game for us to experience, because I feel they are crucial to the overall story.
Like, Minrathous is going to have a lot of Dwarven architecture. They have a whole ambassadoria, so there could be dwarves there, but I don't remember seeing any in the trailer.
If we don't get to visit Tigers, it makes me think why they want to leave it, unless the reason is that over so many years the Blight has taken them all out.
I mean, we're still kind of hoping for a Kel-Sharok reveal. At least some of us were. But I guess
100%.
It's hard to let go of the idea of being in a place and having already seen it, impacting. But hopefully it'll at least impact dialogue.
The Deep Roads have been a later game thing. You need a few levels because it's full of darkspawn and scary high-level creatures.
One of the things that Inquisition did so well is having terrain changes. I mean, okay, as in we actually had some terrain changes like we did. Oh my god, I'm totally blanking on...
Do you mean terrain changes like Crestwood?
Yes. Where you go and you manage to actually accomplish all the quests, the side quests there, and suddenly Crestwood is totally different.
Oh, yeah.
I was really hoping that we would get alterations to terrain and art style based on quest lines, especially if we're going to be cleaning up acres and acres of red lyrium, potentially. I think that it really would give them an opportunity to shine in their environment portrayal.
Let's move to talking about characters. So what do you think of their art style?
I actually like it. I think that more stylized art styles do age better because with realism, it's limited to the technology at the time versus more stylized work. It just hides that aging better.
I thought it was a lot better than the trailer.
I think everybody looks a lot like they do in the Missing comic.
Love what they did with Varric. I know everybody was kind of amazed at the age on him, but I think that given the comics, that makes sense. So I really liked it.
How about Solus?
I didn't love the way they kind of smoothed him out and made him sharper, but it seems like they did that for everybody. So, yeah.
Yes, it's cohesive.
I think that's part of it. It was a cohesive change. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing, though, is like in Inquisition, his eyes, I can't really put my finger on what color his eyes were. Kind of like a grayish, bluish, but in this game it looks like they're definitely purple.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if his eyes were just reflecting magic from the ritual.
Could be.
Because they definitely glowed when he cast a spell, and they were a different color before and after. So I'm wondering if the lighting was just really good, showing reflection in his eyes that turned purple.
I didn't pick up on that at all.
In Inquisition, especially in Trespasser, at the very end, when I believe Solus stopping one of the Avar.
The Antom.
Thank you. It's only when he is trying to do magic that his eye color changes, and his eyes changed into 4 different colors, right as she turned into stone.
I remember them flashing, but I did not remember that they went purple, so that's interesting.
So yeah, so it could be he is doing a ritual and he needed a certain type of magic, or it's another style change that decided and made it purple.
I don't know, but we had talked a lot about color theory in the games, and that purple might be more of a blight magic type energetic signature for the game now. So that'll be interesting too, because Minrathous really seems like some of the way they lit it was to bring up that whole purple under palette.
Hmm.
And in all of the posters, the purple background.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of purple. Purple and pink.
I love purple.
Of course, we have to talk about Lace Harding. Everybody is excited
Yeah.
to romance her. But again, a lot of smoothing out. But I really love the way she looked in comparison to how she looked in Inquisition.
Yeah, I think she looks better. Better hair.
I liked her very Ferelden armor. Like, it reminds me of what Alistair wears in the comics. Also, before Bianca died, she was beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, the metal and wood of the crossbow. Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, it had like filigree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely signifies a time jump and what's really been going on with Varric, in a sense. He's been tinkering on that.
Yeah.
Now, all these new characters. Let's start with Balera. They call her the Veil Jumper.
They're introduced in the Missing comic, which
Oh,
Veil
yeah.
Jumpers are a faction. We were never told those were executors. Those could all be Veil Jumpers.
I thought she was Arlathan based, but we still don't know because executors were quote unquote across the sea. But that they could be related, still a possibility.
They could be a faction of the Executors because of the previous art. Same weapon or very similar to it, where I feel like they have a sort of magic that alters physics.
I love her design. I think it's very cool. It's going to be very interesting, elven theory-wise, going into this game. And I'm very tempted to play an elf just to see what kind of interaction you might get between that and the backstories. I think they're on point with their ears, no pun
Me
intended.
too. I like how they weren't shy with the ears.
I think you should intend the pun.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. The pun was intended. There you go.
Thank you.
Their ear game is on point.
Yeah.
Perfect.
How about Nev? Detective Nev.
She was giving off a little bit of Hunger Games capital aesthetic to me. And then I thought about it and I'm like, all right, well, it's Minrathous. So, yeah.
I love her prosthetic leg so
Yeah.
much. It's stylized like a cobra. She walks really smoothly.
And how about Grey Warden Davrin?
Also a good-looking elf.
Yep.
Yeah.
With a
I
baby
love
griffin.
his griffin.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And we're going to get a whole new set of Valisline.
Looks like it.
I love some of the discussion about the Valisline that I've seen because they are a little different. And did they change going forward through the decade? Are we going to be seeing more ancient Valisline?
I hope they come up with screenshots like the different Valisline between Dragon Age 1 and 2 and Inquisition. It's hard to keep track.
I just like it to be pick your Valisline, here's what they mean. If you're going to even have them, because that would be interesting too. What would it mean if you could create an elf character with no Valisline? Will it impact the game, given everything that's happened? I don't know.
That would be interesting.
I would love if all tattoos had meaning in character creation, because you can get Legion of the Dead tattoos as a dwarf, and that never comes up in conversation.
And the Lord of Fortune, Dragon Hunter Tosh.
Seems like a lot of people really like her.
I
Yeah.
want to know if her horns are made out of veil quartz.
Yeah, I heard they were gemstone. It could be veil cord. Not really sure what it is, but I thought it was amazing because
Yeah.
they wear a lot of gems
They wear
and
fortune.
gold and whatnot. I'm calling him Phil for short, but welcome.
What up?
Thank you for joining us. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Phil. I've been playing Dragon Age since Origins, so for a while now. I enjoy games and talking weird, deep lore stuff, so...
Wonderful. Right now, we finished going over some of the characters and their style, but we have a few more to go. So, how about the Antivan Crow Lucanus?
For my favorite potential character to meet in the game, I kind of thought he was a little more bland, but I guess we'll see more.
I think he has the correct amount of daggers. I hope there's more hidden on his person.
Yeah.
I like
I
that
don't-
he has his own moniker, the Mage
Mhm.
Killer.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder, like, Antiva in some sort of political beef with Tevinter now. Or, like, they're just like, you know what, Crows? Go ahead. Do them bad.
I don't know if it was like the angle or what, but his neck seemed a little too long. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
That's fair.
I was kind of disappointed with his armor. It doesn't look like other crow armor that we've seen in the promotional trailer anyway.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Speaking about
I really
next,
just want the crow armor that one lady with the rapier was wearing.
I want to get this on the board. I really think Ilario and Lacanus might be the same person.
So he was just talking to himself for the wig maker job?
Yeah. That these are alternate personalities or alternate personas. That's why Antiva is my most interested location right now. It feels like he got a really good segment of Tevinter Nights. Like there's a lot of mystery surrounding his backstory. So if his art's bad, I'm still going to romance him. Who am I kidding?
I haven't decided who I'm going to romance. I need to meet them.
Mm-hmm.
Although it would be kind of neat to romance Manfred.
speaking
The
of
answer is
Manfred,
everyone, including the tree. I'm gonna romance
Yeah.
everyone.
Insert bone joke here.
No.
No.
It's their jumping bones.
no.
No.
Well, skipping right past that to talk about Mortalitasi, Mournwatcher, Emmerich.
Yeah.
He's just so sharp in the trailer. So again, I wish we had a screen cap of his actual art style.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling he's going to look totally different in game. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, all of the models that we saw in the trailer we've seen in game so far have been like leagues apart.
I didn't think they were that different from the trailer, actually. Like, the secondary forms in the anatomy are exaggerated in both the trailer and the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
The style for all the characters I seem to be okay with. You know, after watching the trailer, then watching the gameplay and how the environment affects and the lighting affects their skin, their hair, whatnot.
Yeah.
Only one is the Mournwatcher. I don't know, he just looked a bit too cartoony.
I thought he looked a little cartoony, but let's be realistic. The voice acting is going to be huge in this game, I feel like.
True.
So
I really need to hear Emmerich's voice because he looks like Vincent Price.
Yes, he does. Okay, thank
He's
you.
not going
I'm
to
glad I'm
sound
not
like
the only one
Vincent
who
Price,
thought that.
and I'm going to be disappointed.
Yep.
I'm going to give the people what they want. Sensation, horror, shock.
And now, my favorite topic, creatures.
I love the dark spawn that's kind of lit from within. I'm really on board for red lyrium blighted dark spawn.
Remember how they look like in Dragon Age Origins all the way up to Inquisition. They are far more darker, creepier, changed, yet they still seem organic, right? They're humanoids.
Yeah, they look pretty freaky.
You need a sound bite from the mummy. They're still juicy.
Oh no. Oh no.
The previous concept art do mimic what we're seeing in game. How funny though, in concept art, I'm like, oh, okay, I see a lot more red lyrium taint, but when you actually see them live, they look like this. It makes me feel like I'm watching a Tim Burton film.
Her face is a little goofy.
And like, I think part of that is like just the presentation difference between the actual game and like the trailer. The models in game felt like they were like leagues apart. The presentation in the trailer didn't really do the art style justice, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It also looks like all of the cartilage is gone. They have no nose, they have no cheekbones. Like it looks like a skull, like they got burned away except for the eyes.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I like my monsters and creatures to be scarier, to also have a bit of character. Of course, there's the leader of the Darkspawns, and then there's the Hurlock and the Genlock. At this moment, I'm not really sure who's who. Now, we have Darkspawns that they have bird wings on their arms and with long talons. It's just emaciated. The face is eaten off. I'm not really sure how I feel about it.
I think
You're right, though. They're all homogenized. Like, we don't see ogres, genlocks, Sherlocks, Herlocks, and emissaries. They all look like they have similar body models.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we just haven't seen the mages yet. I suppose it could be one of two things. They either haven't showed them to us, or something happened to the Darkspawn where they're not using magic anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had armor on in the other games.
Mm-hmm.
Here they look naked.
Yeah.
Makes me think that they lack organization.
Could be too. I don't know if they're gonna have like the whole new archdemon, right?
Like maybe they become more like shock troops under the demons.
Mm-hmm.
Be interesting.
I think like they're both gonna simultaneously like show us more variety once we're actually, have the game in our hands and kind of like explain why they seem less organized or whatever. At least I hope. But
Yeah.
I'm willing to give them the chance.
Something I was talking about with Cole, because he had mentioned the profane. I'm really starting to wonder if it means something lore-wise with the red lyrium spreading, because where we found the red lyrium first is where we found all those demons trapped in the stone. From the rock wraiths / profane to that pride demon we saw, to me, the art style carryover was really striking.
I really
Agreed.
like the new design for the demons. I think it looked cool.
Mhm.
So, Dan, do you think it's a new design and the same demon, or do you think it actually means something with respect to the veil?
I think it's just a new design.
Because they needed to translate not just the characters to this new art style, but the creatures and monsters too.
I think I said this to Phil yesterday. My concern is if they're all going to look similar, like the wraiths looking quite similar to the Pride Demon. So I don't know.
I mean, they looked fleshy. They looked monster in DAI.
Yeah.
And now they look more spirity or skeleton-y, at least to me, with that lyrium lighting up that pride demon.
Mhm.
And I just wonder if it's lore related or if it's art style. I don't know. I would really like it to be lore related.
I think it might be a little bit of both. Or like, they had to translate the creatures to the new art style, right? But also there's like notable changes in the demons. Seem like fiery demons, like guessing that was a rage demon. But if it was, like, that's a completely different design from other DA games, where like the pride demon, they pretty much kept like a lot of its like core notes, like the horns, facial features, and like the body shape, and like even its attack patterns for the most part they kept.
Yeah, definitely. The silhouette they kept for the Pride Demon.
If those are rage demons, they're a lot more hellhoundy.
Yeah.
I thought a lot of the shade looked like despair demons.
Yeah.
And I
I
couldn't
was thinking
tell
that.
right away.
Let's talk about the mechanics now.
So I have my fingers crossed. I read a comment that they believe this is the best RPG character creator that BioWare has ever done. I'm kind of internally holding them to that, We can't avoid the fact that part of a role-playing game is being able to create a meaningful backstory for a character. And I have my hopes higher than they should be. Let's put it that way.
As a character artist, I think that's something really important to me too.
I liked their Rook. I thought lighting on the darker skinned character was amazing. That made me feel really happy after what they did with Mass Effect, because the redo of Mass Effect was not kind to the characters of color. And to see them actually put in some work and fix that was amazing.
I saw somewhere that they took the hair from, I want to say FIFA, another EA property.
Yeah, a lot of times in game art, you're really pressed for time, so anything you can do to help condense work while still making things look good is encouraged.
I thought that the characters were really well animated. It's just, please have the writing be there.
I believe they used mocap for this game, so the animation should be more smooth.
I did see some of the mocap stuff, but it's got to work with the art style, and I feel like it did, which I was happy about that.
We had seen sneak preview of what they were working on, and now we really saw it in this gameplay reveal, what the UI might look like for the controller, and then we also seen the pacing of it.
Honestly, I'm cool with like the more action-focused direction, because like they've been kind of trending that way ever since Dragon Age 2, and like seems like they're actually committing to it now.
I think I am cool with it too, honestly.
I mean, I'm
still gonna play it on easy mode, but yeah.
I mean, I'm the dissenting voice. I hate that they took it away from a classic RPG and just went with basically Mass Effect Andromeda.
And see, like, that was kind of my thing with, like, DA Inquisition, where I felt like them trying to also do the tactical thing and the action thing kind of made both angles suffer, where it's like they would have been better served by just picking a direction and sticking with that, It's like, shoot, Larian proved that tactic still makes money, but also they might have, like, went away from a tactical style so they could avoid that comparison. So I could see that as like a marketing angle too. Like maybe they didn't want to do the tactical thing because they didn't want to hear the Baldur's Gate fucking comparisons.
I did read your comment, Love, about too many SFXs. I won't read the first part, but I agree with you completely. That is definitely something that to me is going to mess up my enjoyment of the UI because there was a lot going on in the combat and a lot of FX, and it could get to be a little bit much. I guess we'll find out.
Definitely fair.
I would just love that option to turn it down.
Turn it off. Yeah.
Because I love to
It's just-
watch the fight.
It could become a huge factor when you interact with the terrain.
I'm glad there's a pause. That's really the only good thing I have to say about the combat.
If you're going to put so much work into animation, I would love to watch it, not the light show.
I agree with you. I would rather, especially since I'm just going to play a narrative, I'd rather actually get to see the combat.
When I was playing on a controller, man, I was crazy switching between my companions and my character because it all depends like who needs more help and whatnot.
I've never been able to trust companion mages to do their job.
Hopefully, the way that this combat looks, maybe the AI's better. You know, it's possible.
I'd hope.
The fact that it's a port, almost certainly an issue. But if the AI is better and the characters can basically be counted on to use their abilities at appropriate times on their own, it will make the entire thing much less of an ordeal, having to switch back and forth and worry about pausing and all of that to be able to survive a combat.
Yeah, and we get one less companion.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed about that. I like having lots of companions around and hearing their banter. I thought the part where Rook is trying to get to the place to interfere with the ritual, and you can hear in the background Varric and Solus talking to each other, that part was really cool. I really liked it. It gave me like the trespasser vibes when Inquisitor is talking to Solus.
Yeah, exactly. And like for me seeing that, you know, at first like seeing the character design change kind of for Varric, I was like, I don't know. But then seeing the gameplay reveal and like the cutscene and like, you know, hearing his voice actor and like seeing that this is still Varric kind of like put me at ease, and I'm like, okay, all right, maybe we let BioWare cook. Maybe we back.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I hesitated on the art style, but the more I watch the gameplay, the more I'm seeing everything coming together with the action, the environment, and the voice. Yeah, I was holding my breath. That's when I know that, yeah, I'm in. And we're coming to a close. Thank you to everyone who participated. Thank you, Cananum, Happy Thoughts, Chris, Phil, and I'm looking forward to doing another conclave with you all. More to be revealed. So stay tuned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye.